Welcome back to another episode of Life with Andy Mother. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Andy Mother, aka Mama Fabian, and I'd like to welcome you to the Life with Andy Mother family. Woo! If you're new to this channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and join the gang. Yay! I don't think I've ever introduced you guys to my dog. This is Bob. Say hi, Bob. Is that how you say hi? Anyway, so I just put him here so that you can see, just in case you hear any commotion in the background, just know it's Bob. Okay? Say bye. On today's video, I found a really interesting and exciting topic to record about. It's the game It's the game Never Have I Ever, but Motherhood edition. So if you're a mom, stay tuned and let's get on into the video. I wrote them down on a book because I screenshot them on my phone. Like I got a couple of what is it called? I got a couple of points and I screenshot them on my phone. So here we go. So never have I ever celebrated cancelled plans. I'm just going straight into it, and I know my friends are going to come at me for this, but never have I ever celebrated cancelled plans like with friends and just be happy to be home. That one I'm guilty. If it was like a sip, I'd be sipping something and be like, I have ever, because I can't count the number of times where I'd have a meeting or I'd have a meetup with my friends and then something just goes, I don't want to say goes wrong, but something just happens and then the meetup ends up not happening. I'm normally like, yes, more time for me to relax, especially like with work and everything. I just feel like, you know what, I'd love to meet you, but like, man, at the same time I feel so bad for us not meeting, but at the same time I'm like, yes, some more time for me to rest. Like I never do anything. Anytime plans are cancelled, I never make other plans. I just go straight into my bed, straight into my series, and just get on with it and just, you know, celebrate that day, because it's like it's become like another off day, and it's a mom thing. You'll understand, because you're just like, more extra time for me to spend time with myself doing absolutely nothing. Never have I ever demonstrated how to wipe yourself and use the toilet to my kids. I have done this with Fabian so many times, especially with I have ever been. So I'll say the ones that I've ever done and the ones that I've ever done, but I feel like I've done most of this. So I have demonstrated to Fabian, of course, how to use the washroom, how to wipe himself, and you know, like after toilet etiquette and like what you're supposed to do, like especially for boys. And we were discussing this on flight today, because every time a man would go into the washroom, every single man would pee on the toilet seat and none of them would wipe it. You understand? So I was just like, why do guys do this? Like, why do guys always pee on the toilet seat and not wipe it? So I made sure to teach Fabian, like, if he pees on the toilet, because there's a day he peed on the toilet seat and I told him, Sasa, if you pee on it like that, how do you expect me to use it? And you know that me, I sit on the toilet, so he had to wipe it. So teaching him like the after using the toilet etiquette, and also how to wipe himself and all that. Yes, I've ever done that. Never have I ever felt resentful that my kids could sleep anywhere at any time and wake up the next morning and find themselves in their bed. Of course I felt bad. Just juicy, we had gone somewhere, and when I was carrying like Fabian upstairs to come and sleep, I was just saying how manze, being a kid is so nice. Imagine unalala too, you are in another location. The next morning you wake up, you find yourself in your bed, all covered up, you're clean, you know, you wake up to a good breakfast. Like, I'm just like, that is very envious. Like, I don't feel so bad, but I normally sit and I think, because I remember my dad, anytime we'd fall asleep, like on the sofa when we were kids, you'd wake up and find like he'd already taken you to bed. So I'm doing the same with my kid, but I'm just there looking at him like, this is a privilege, you know? Like, why? Mbona usiamke wewe mwenyewe ujipeleke uone yenyewe umeamka? Like, being a kid is so nice. Never have I ever dropped an F-bomb in front of my child. If you're a mom, there's no way you've not done this. Especially if you're a mom in our generation right now. Of course, my mom, I can say she's never... Have I ever had my mom drop an F-bomb? Actually, no. Now that I think about it, but my dad, It is not even an F-bomb, it's just a word that he loves using, and it sounds so funny when he says it. But anyway, I have ever dropped an F-bomb, and I've ever dropped an S-bomb also. But anytime I do it, like Fabian normally tells me like, Mom, you said a bad word. And I'd have to like apologize and say sorry, I didn't mean to say that, so that even he doesn't learn how to say that. Because even, was it yesterday, if I'm not wrong, he was telling me how there's a friend of his in school who's constantly doing the middle finger, so he told him to stop doing that because it's wrong, but his friend was like, no, it's right. So he was like, no, it's wrong. So they were debating whether it's wrong or it's right, but he was just like, you know what, it's wrong. So he was coming to report to me about that. So I have dropped an F-bomb, I've dropped an F-bomb, I've dropped a couple of bombs, but I try to limit it as much as possible, like the language that I speak in front of him, or the language that he hears from the people around him, so that he doesn't get tempted to repeat it again. Because kids are kids, like when they see you doing something, or when they hear you saying something, they assume that it's the right thing to do, because I mean, mom is doing it, dad is doing it, you know, uncle is doing it, auntie is doing it, so it's okay for you to do it. And no, it's not. Never have I ever stuck my hand in the toilet to retrieve something. You know what, I can't even believe I'm saying this on camera, but I have so many times. And not just Fabian's things, like even my things. I can't remember the number of times I've dropped like something in the toilet, especially when I'm doing my makeup. I always drop stuff in the toilet, and I don't know why. And the recent case was a phone. I dropped a phone in the toilet. Like, I just feel like sometimes I'm really clumsy, but I don't think Fabian has ever dropped anything in the toilet, now that I think about it. I can't remember an occasion where I had to retrieve something for him from the toilet, but for me, I have had to do that countless. So no, I have never had to retrieve anything for him from the toilet. Never have I ever peed my pants while sneezing. Yes, I have, many times. I have peed my pants while sneezing, because that is what birth will do to you, especially like the first year after you've given birth and your muscles are still not as strong as they used to be before. Manze, utajipata umeji, like you'll have small pees, especially when you're really pressed. Like you'll find yourself just, you know, like if you make any sudden movements, you know, or put any pressure on your bladder, manze, you're gone. You can even pee yourself, because like you're still learning how to flex those muscles and relax those muscles. You understand? So it happens. It's okay. I'm sure it's happened to you. If it's not happened to you, well, you'll tell me the day that you become a mom whether it happened to you or not. Never have I ever counted time until when my kids will fall asleep. I have done this with Fabian so many times. Like, there are days I'll be like, wow, lali bana, especially when there's something going on, or like I'm watching something, because I have to stop watching it so that I can be able to concentrate on him, so that he can sleep faster. Because if I continue watching when he's awake, he's also going to start watching, and then he's going to start asking me questions, and then now we're going to lose the whole perspective of why we were putting him to bed in the first place. So I have ever, but even when I'm counting the times when he's falling asleep, I can't count the number of times I have fallen asleep while putting my kid to sleep. You know, like, have you ever said, okay, let me go take him to sleep, and then I'm coming, and then that's how I black out? Like, people who have been around me, or people who've been in my house and have come to maybe celebrate something, can tell you how many times I'll be like, let me take Fabian to sleep, and then the next time I'm opening my eyes, it's the next day. People have gone, Bashili Shaisha, and I'm just there like, wow, must be nice. So never have I ever gone to sleep while putting my kid to sleep. I have ever, so many times. And actually, that's normally like the sweetest sleep, because it was unplanned for, and you didn't expect it to happen. You understand? You just find yourself like just going, because you're cuddling this kid, and then you get into the mood, and then even you fall asleep. So it's crazy, y'all. It's like even when you're in the bash, you're still missing the bash, because you're being a mom. I mean, never have I ever yelled at another kid for bullying my kid. I have, and I will say I did it without any shame. Na kwa nilienda hadi kwa hao yewo mtoi. I don't know what that kid did to Fabian. Either Fabian fell, or he pushed Fabian, or I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I went to their house and I found him outside, I think with his brothers or his uncles, and I was like, my kid has said that your kid did this to him, and I'm there with Fabian, and Fabian was like, I'm asking Fabian, knew you ati mbona unafanya hivyo, uoni uko na miaka kubwa kumliko, and the kid started crying. I'm not even proud of it, but the kid started crying, sema bwana si mimi, and they started explaining what happened, nini. So I was like, next time make sure that you do this, and then now the cousins and the brothers were like, ati wanamuuliza mbona ulifanya hivyo, you know. So I was there, I was turning up, and I was like, next time make sure that you apologize when you do something like that. I was in full mom mode, let me tell you. I felt so proud of myself. Never have I ever used hand soap or clothes to wipe snot from my kids' nose or sucked mucus from their nose. I have done this a couple of times, especially when they're like newborns. I can't count the number of times Fabian actually had a blocked nose, and I, you know, like physically, because you know their noses are so small, so I just put my mouth sikako hivi na kama mdomo yangu hapo nanyonya hiyo makavasi yote. And I don't even feel bad about it because it gives them relief, you understand? Even now when he's a big boy, I'll just find myself, you know how your parents used to do that to you, like wanakufanyia hivi, wanakupanguza kama ni huku, wanakupanguza huku kwa macho. I've done that so many times, and Fabian gets so pissed because he's like, Mom, it's enough. Mom, I don't want, oh. So yeah, I've done it. I'm guilty of that, and I've done it a couple of times, and I'm not going to say that I'm going to stop doing it anytime soon. Yeah. Never have I ever felt relieved seeing another tired mom. Let me tell you, there's nothing as validating as seeing another mom be as exhausted as you, or see another mom just speaking of experiences that you yourself have gone through. You're just like, wow, kumbe si mi peke yangu. Like the way I'm speaking about many of this, never have I ever, there's somebody who's there who's also like, man, even me, I've done that too. Like it gives you such a nice validation to see another mom going through what you're going through, because you're like, oh, kumbe ni universal, kumbe si mi peke yangu, kumbe, like, you know, we're all God's children, we're all his favorite children, like we're all going through the same stuff, and it's so comforting. As much as you'll be like, whoa, yeah. Especially when you see like moms outside and they're like struggling with, like they have like 3 kids under 5 years or under 6 years, and all of them need attention, and all of them like need clothes and shoes, and you're carrying all these things, and at the same time you're still trying to remain sane. I just look at those moms and I'm like, girl, especially like on board when they're boarding, I'm like, girl, I feel you, but where I don't wanna be you, because you just look at them like, where? Yeah, being a mom it's a superpower. It's really a superpower. Never have I ever let my kid take a shit or relieve themselves, or relieve themselves in a place that's not a restroom because the public toilet is too dirty. I've done that with Fabian. Me, there's a time I took tissue, nikatandika chini hapo. He shit there, and I carried the shit and I went and threw it in the toilet, because we're not having our kids catching any infections just because they have to use the washroom. Like, it's a kid. Kids get away with so much stuff. Unaweza shukisha mtoi katikati ya barabara akoje, and nobody's going to say anything. Kids can get away with a lot of stuff, so I find it easier if the washroom is dirty. Why am I still forcing you to go into the washroom and you're pressed? Like, tandika tissue, you take your long call there, I take it straight in the toilet, tunaendelea na maisha. You understand? Like, people will excuse you because they'll be like, mtoto alikuwa amekaza sana, manzi alikuwa amekaza aki na nikono hicho ni chafu. So, and most moms actually understand. And let me tell you something, even when you're on the aircraft, don't let your kid sit on the bare toilet. Like, if you can't put a lot of tissues, because people really do the most on those toilets. So especially for girls, don't let them sit on that toilet, please. I am begging you, don't let them sit on the toilet. Never have I ever posted my kids' picture on social media. That I have never done, and that I do not do, and that I do not plan on doing, and I don't feel like explaining about it. I don't feel like talking about it. I find it easier that way. It's the same way I don't post my partner like on social media. Like, for me, it's just, you know what, it's not really a must. If that's something that you like, it's okay, you do it. But if it's something that you share the same sentiments as me. Like, it's not a big deal whether you post, whether you don't post. It's still your choice at the end of the day. Never have I ever spent a lot of money on a toy. You know what, we're not even going to talk about that. Anyway, the last one is never have I ever cried in front of my child. Have I ever cried in front of Fabian? I think I have. Not really cried in front of him, but maybe he found me like, I'm done crying. Like, you know, that those times when life is just hard and you're like, you know what, I need a good shed, I need a good like tear jerker, so that you can cry and cry and cry until you're tired. And of course you can't cry in front of your child, and of course your child won't give you space to just cry because they don't know personal boundaries and they don't believe like you're supposed to ever be alone. So he found me after the aftermath. Like, I'm just there, like, they'll be like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Like, no, I'm okay. Something entered my eyes. And then you hear them crying, and then you wipe your tears, because of course you don't want your kids to see you sad, but at the same time you need to release that energy, because if you don't release that energy, it's going to eat you from the inside. So yeah, as a mom, it's a very thin line between what we've done and what we've not done, because I feel like we've done everything just for the sake of our kids, and we'll keep doing everything just for the sake of protecting our kids, or for the sake of entertaining our kids, or just making their childhood like way better, of course, than ours ever was. So I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it for you. I love the fact that I've been doing more sit down videos, because it feels more interactive and it feels like I'm in my zone, basically, because I do a lot of sit down videos even before I went back to work. Like, yes, I love doing vlogs, but I feel like more of my authentic self shows when I'm sitting down here, or when I'm sitting down and just talking to you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Hit that bell button so that you can receive a notification every time that I post a new video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to live, love, be anything that you want to be. Bye guys. Say bye. Bye.
You don't know I'm stalling, cause you love to have him all crying. Calling me sweet, telling me you need me.